welcome back to the Badass Broadcast. This is your weekly dose of unapologetic self-love and mindset elevation. This episode is gonna hit a little different, a little bit more raw, a little heavier, but just as bold and just as real. Because here's the truth. Even the strongest, fiercest, most aligned people have days when they feel broken. We all hit those moments where the light feels dim, the fire feels low, and the motivation just isn't there. So if you've been in a fog lately, if you've been walking through grief, burnout, or big life transitions, this one's for you. This is a real talk about grief, growth, and grit. Because broken crayons still color. And being a badass doesn't mean pretending you're okay. It means showing up anyway. All right, I got my water, I got my tissue, and I got my backup comfort chocolate. So let's get into it.
To the spotlight, let yourself shine. Every word, every beat, your truth
So let me tell you where I am right now. My son, my absolute rock, just left to serve a 2-year mission for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And y'all, it's not that I'm worried about him. I'm not one bit worried about him. I know he's good. I know he's safe. I know he's in the hands of something greater. He made this selfless decision to go share his light with the world, to be the man that I raised him to be. He was born for this. But I didn't think it would be this hard. He's always been the one person I could always depend on. And now I'm on my own. And I know that I'm not completely alone. I still have a house full of girls, but it was my son who helped me raise those girls. And he was actually supposed to leave 2 years ago when he graduated, but he didn't because he didn't want to leave me. He knew how much I depended on him, so he stayed. And it wasn't until our aunt got really sick and we were able to spend Thanksgiving with her just a few weeks before she passed. And I think that's when everything shifted. He had a chance to minister to her, to feel what that felt like, to be a light to someone whose light was so dim, to be that in her final days. And when she passed, I think that's when it hit him the hardest. It was the first time he had lost somebody so close to him. And he felt so much gratitude for being able to spend that last Thanksgiving with her. And I think that's when he knew that it was time. I know that's when he knew it was time. He actually talked about it quite a bit in his farewell talk at church a few Sundays ago. But he knew that he had to go share his light with the world. And there was no way I was going to stand in the way of that kind of calling. How could I? And the entire time he was prepping for his mission, he would always ask, "Are you going to be all right?" And I just kept telling him, "I'm fine. You got to go." But I didn't think it would be this hard. And even though I can talk to him once a week, it's definitely not the same. And I know it's just one of those things that's going to take some getting used to. Back on Valentine's Day, he brought me a little heart-shaped tin full of Chick-fil-A cookies. That's where he worked. He swears by Chick-fil-A. He loves that place. And on the lid, he wrote, "If nobody else believes in you, I believe in you." He's been preparing me in his own way, giving me rules to live by while he's gone, telling me to get out and make friends and to build this business I've dreamed of. And he kept saying, "You gonna be ready to buy that house when I get back, right?" Telling me to quit my job and go all in. So even though I've had many days, or probably all the days since he's left, I just want to lay in bed and cry in the dark and just not deal with the world, I know I have to keep going. And it hasn't even been a week. It feels like it's been forever. But I know I have to keep going, because he believes in me and he expects me to keep going. And I'll be honest, I've had so many moments where I've wondered if I was enough. Did I give him enough? Was I present enough? Did I do enough? But then I look at the man he's become, the way he loves, the way he leads, the way he lives, and I realize I did that. I raised that. Of course, I have the church and the priesthood leaders to thank for so much help, for being my village. But even though it's so damn hard to let him go, it's the biggest reminder that I did something right. And I know some of you feel this too, not because your story is the same, but because you've also had to let go of something or someone. Maybe you had to let go of a season or a version of yourself. Grief comes in so many forms, and I'll be honest with you, I'm just now fully grasping the understanding how deeply we can grieve someone who hasn't passed away. And some of you might be thinking, well, Duh, of course we can grieve someone who's still alive. But I know there's some of you who are like me and might be realizing it for the first time. Or maybe you just realized it the first time you had to go through it. Grief isn't just about death. It can be about a child leaving home. And if you've had a child go off to college or something like that, you definitely know that one. It can be a relationship ending. It could be a friend who drifted away. A job or dream you had to let go of. Or even the version of you that doesn't exist anymore. Grief is an emotional response to loss. And that loss doesn't have to be permanent or physical. And because of that truth, it's easy to miss it, to not even realize you're grieving. So how do you recognize it? Some signs of grief might look like feeling emotionally numb or overwhelmed, loss of motivation or creativity, difficulty concentrating or exhaustion or insomnia, increased irritability, sadness that seems to just come in waves and, it comes and it goes. Feeling disconnected, alone, or just like something is off. Wanting to withdraw from people or routines. Sound familiar? And then there are stages of grief, which are linear, by the way. The first stage is denial. Like this isn't really happening. Having a hard time accepting what is. Then there's anger. Why is this happening to me? Why not somebody else? Who's responsible for this? There's bargaining. If I just do this, then maybe I can fix that. There's depression, the weight of the loss that settles in. And then there's acceptance, when you start to make peace and adjust. And you can move through all of these stages in a few days, in a week, or cycle through them for months, even sometimes years if you're not careful. But there's no wrong way to grieve. You're not broken. You're just moving through a process. Because what they don't tell you is that grief can feel like fog. It sneaks in and dulls your glow. It makes it hard to think, to create, to show up. You don't want to do anything. You want to lie in bed with the curtains drawn and just be still. And truthfully, that's how I've been feeling this week. This was not the original episode that was on the plan for my podcast lineup. But I just felt like I lost my flow. Like I don't have anything to say. Like I'd rather just disappear for a little bit and be left alone. But I can't. And I won't, because I know there are people who are waiting on the next episode of the Badass Broadcast. There are people waiting on the next post that hits home. There are people watching, and even if they never tell me that they're watching, and some of them, they're waiting on me to show up so they can give themselves permission to do the same. And if you know me, you have probably never seen me cry. But my options were to show up with tears flowing or don't show up at all. So here I am in all my hot mess glory. How do you show up when you feel broken? You just do. You don't wait for the spark. You light the damn match yourself. You take one small step. You record one episode. You post one truth. Even when it's messy. Especially when it's messy. Because the truth is, you don't have to feel high vibe to be powerful. You don't have to be on to be impactful. You just have to show up. One post, one step, one breath. That's grit. That's growth. That's badass. That's the part no one sees, but it's the most powerful part of the journey. Because here's the thing. The universe, God, source, whatever name speaks to your soul, it always meets you halfway, but you've got to move first. Even if it's shaky, even if you're crying, even if your heart is still healing, just start. Do the thing you don't feel like doing, because most of the time you're never going to feel like it, but you do it anyway. That's power. You don't have to feel ready. You just have to be willing. So here is my call to you, love bugs. Show up in your grief, in your doubt, in your dark days. Show up for yourself, for your dreams, for the people waiting on your light. Because even when the badass feels broken, she is still a fucking badass. You've got this. We've got this. You are still whole. And you are not alone. Know this. Your presence is power. Your voice is medicine, and your story, even when it hurts, is sacred. Now let's close this episode and anchor it with these powerful affirmations. Take a deep breath in and hold it at the top. Release. And repeat after me. Even when I feel broken, I am still whole. Even when I grieve, I am still growing. Even when I doubt, I am still divine. I honor the heaviness and I choose to rise again and again. because I was made for this and I am not alone. Breathe that in. Let it anchor you. Release. I'm here. I'm here showing up. Not because I feel perfect, not even because I feel motivated, but because that's what it means to lead. Because that's what it means to be a badass. And I know you can do the same. I thank you so much for tuning in. I love you. I see you. And I'm proud of you. Remember, you are an unstoppable badass. Even when you feel broken. Worthy of everything your heart desires. Let's get it. Want to keep this momentum going? Here's how you can take it to the next level. Rise and thrive with my brand new Facebook community, Elevated Soul Tribe. The name has changed, the mission remains. This is your unlimited space for soulful self-love, mindset mastery, and badass transformation. Book your free badass breakthrough session, and together, let's tackle what's been holding you back. If you're loving this badass energy, consider making a donation to help keep these empowering episodes coming. Subscribe, rate, and share this broadcast with someone who needs a spark of badassery in their life. If you've been vibing with this podcast and you're ready to go deeper, like burn it all down and rise into your power deeper, then you need to get on the waiting list for the Unstoppable Ascension Beta Round. This is my signature 12-week coaching experience designed to help you break free from self-doubt, reprogram your mindset, and fully embody your most unstoppable, magnetic, soul-aligned self unapologetically. This beta round is super intimate, super powerful, and offered at a one-time only ever special early bird price. But spots are very limited. So if your soul is screaming yes, go to unstoppablebadass.me and get on the waiting list now. Your next level is already waiting for you. Let's rise and thrive together. All right, love bug. I'll catch you in the next episode of the Badass Broadcast.
Claim your crown. No limits, no boundaries, no backing down. For the dreamers, the fighters, the ones who dare to rise from the ashes to take their